Hi, I'm Greg Hunter, and this is the weekly news wrap up for Friday, August 3rd, 2012. Well, Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah al Khamenei, said this week to his top military people and generals that, quote, we'll be at war within weeks. Now, this quote and story came from a very good source, Depka.com. Now, meanwhile, it was reported that this week Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was having a meeting with Leon Panetta, the U.S. Defense Secretary, over in Israel. And he said, hey, listen, the sanctions haven't been working. You've had all these meetings. This is not working. Time is running out to stop Iran's nuclear program, which Iran says is for the peaceful production of energy. Now, Panetta is over there, and of course, it was reported that he's telling the Israeli leadership to be patient, let sanctions work. And you know why he's doing that. I mean, President Obama does not want Israel to attack Iran. Number one, boom, the U.S. will be at war as fast as you can say, harpoon missile. They'll be at it just like that. The Strait of Hormuz will be shut down. Oil prices will skyrocket. The world financial system could crater with spikes in interest rate swaps and derivatives, and things could go crazy. So there is no way that a sitting president wants that kind of a wild card unleashed. Meanwhile, Netanyahu, the prime minister, and also Ehud Barak, who is the Israeli defense minister, basically told Panetta, hey, listen, we reserve the right to protect ourselves, to defend ourselves. That's not the kind of talk you have from either the Iranians or the Israelis in any kind of, dialogue that gets you to peace. This is not peace they're talking about. I don't think the Iranians or the Israelis are a bunch of blowhards here. And I'd like to throw this in. Several months back, the Iranians said, "Hey, listen, if we think we're going to be attacked, we reserve the right to strike first." So this is a very, very dicey situation. And meanwhile, this is against a backdrop where the U.S. Air Force has just unveiled a brand new bunker buster. It's 30,000 pounds, 15 tons, and it can penetrate 60 feet of reinforced concrete. Now, it's no secret. The Iranians have some of the strongest defenses and bunkers to protect their nuclear program. It's built in the side of mountains, heavily reinforced and fortified. Reports are they're putting more rocks and cushion and more protection on top of this facility. And we come out and announce we have a brand new bunker buster. Meanwhile, on the other side of the Middle East, over in Syria, it was revealed, or actually it was revealed in the United States, but it has to do with Syria on the other side of the Middle East, on the eastern edge of the Middle East. It was revealed that Barack Obama basically earlier this year signed paperwork to help the Syrian rebels. This is the Hatfields and McCoys. This is a civil war. You have the Shia minority, which is partial to Iran. They're Shia. And, China and Russia are basically allies with the Syrian leadership. And then you have the Sunni majority who are the rebels. And of course, the White House says, well, we didn't, give them lethal help. Come on. I mean, the Russians and other published news reports says, yes, the NATO and the West is helping the U.S. is, behind it. And maybe they didn't directly give them lethal force, but do you think maybe through some of the back channels, maybe through, Turkey, who's in NATO, or Saudi Arabia, who's a U.S. ally, or Jordan, you think maybe the rebels got some help through by the U.S.? Yes, come on. You can't take on, the Syrian army, which is a pretty awesome army with rocks and bottles and sticks and stones. Yes, of course, they must be getting help. Closer to home, the Federal Reserve testified this week, and Ben Bernanke gave a gloomy picture of the U.S. economy. And he must be reading USA Watchdog. I've been saying that for months, years, that all we're doing is bottom bounce. We've spent all this money. We've bailed out the banks. We continue to bail out the banks. And, we don't really have much of an economy. We still have, this 8.2% official headline rate. It's more like nearly 23%, according to people like shadowstats.com, of underemployed and unemployed people. That's if you did it the way Bureau of Labor Statistics did it, in 1994 earlier. You've got manufacturing shrinking, not just here, but in other parts of the world. You have housing year over year declining still, despite the fact you have record low 30-year money. I mean, you can get a 30-year loan for less than 3.5%. That's outrageous. The economy should be taken off like a rocket, and it's not. But Ben Bernanke says he's not going to add stimulus. Of course, we already have interest rates, provided by the Fed at near 0% interest rates, and we have that dollar swap facility bailing out European banks. But no help yet on the economy. Now, people like Jim Sinclair say that's okay. They're gonna print money, and if they wait, the response is going to have to be much larger. And it could be something that's not planned and not orchestrated, and something as a knee-jerk reaction to stave off something like, I don't know, systemic failure, or another big financial crisis. It's only a matter of time. The Fed has one arrow in the quiver, and that is to print money, same as the ECB. Finally, it looks like another big brokerage firm, Knight Capital Group, is on the ropes. Now, this is a big brokerage. They handle trades for people like Scottrade and Fidelity. Some of these brokers that use them to make their trades are leaving them. The stock price has cratered. In just 2 days this week, it lost 80% of its value. Now it's reported that Knight Capital Group is for sale. It's kind of like selling your house when it's on fire, all because of some sort of a logarithmic flash trade, some kind of high-speed trading gone haywire. They lost more than $400 million in a very short time. These are trades that happen in thousands of a second. Many trades in the thousands of a second. And is Knight going to end up like MF Global, bankrupt, or PFG Best, bankrupt? And these guys don't take a long time to go bankrupt. They go bankrupt pretty quickly. And what does it mean to the small investor? You listen, if you're a small investor and you're out there with these flash trading programs, these highly computerized trading programs, you're swimming with sharks. You are shark bait. This should scare the daylights out of you. Small investors should be running, not walking, to get some cover, financial cover. That's the way I see it. I'm Greg Hunter. Thank you for supporting USAWatchdog.com.